Once upon a time, in a land filled with rolling green hills and sunshine that felt like a warm hug, lived a farmer named Giles. Now, Giles wasn't just any farmer. His farm was extra special. Instead of cows and chickens, he had the most wonderful, giant bug animals you could ever imagine. First, there was Lily the ladybug. She was as big as a small car, and her bright red shell was covered in giant black spots. Lily didn't walk, she bounced. Boing, 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 she would bounce all around the farm, her antennae wiggling with glee. Then there was Charlie the caterpillar. Charlie was long and green and oh so sleepy. He was as long as a school bus and loved to curl up in a sunny spot for a nice, long nap, snoring softly and making the ground tremble just a little bit. Next, we have Benny the beetle. Benny was a big, round beetle with a shiny purple shell. He was a champion giggler. Every time he saw something funny, which was almost all the time, he would start to giggle. His giggles were so big and deep that they sounded like rumbling thunder. And soon, everyone else would be giggling too. And of course, there was Flora the butterfly. Her wings were as wide as a house and painted with all the colors of the rainbow. When she flew, she swooped and swirled through the air, leaving a trail of sparkling dust behind her. Farmer Giles loved his giant bug friends more than anything. Every morning, he would wake up and say, "Good morning, my wonderful buggies." He'd give Charlie a big bowl of his favorite crunchy leaves, polish Benny's purple shell until it sparkled, and toss a giant bouncy ball for Lily to chase. He and Flora would play hide-and-seek among the giant sunflowers. They were all one big, happy family, and the farm was filled with bouncing, napping, giggling, and flying fun all day long. One night, after a long day of playing, everyone was tucked in and fast asleep. Farmer Giles was dreaming happy dreams in his cozy bed. Charlie the caterpillar was snoring his gentle, rumbling snore. Lily was curled up in her big, round bed, and Benny was quietly dreaming of funny jokes. The whole farm was peaceful under the light of the silvery moon. But then the shadow crept across the farm. A sneaky, tiptoeing figure appeared. It was a thief, a sneaky thief with a pointy nose and a big, empty truck. He looked around with shifty eyes and whispered to himself, "Wow, giant bugs! They'll be perfect for my secret collection." Quiet as a mouse, the thief sneaked over to where Charlie was sleeping. He carefully rolled the sleepy caterpillar onto a giant ramp and into a cage on his truck. Charlie was so deep in his dreams, he didn't even wake up. Next, the thief tiptoed to Lily, the ladybug's bed. He used a big, soft net to scoop her up, boing, 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 right into another cage. Then he found Benny the beetle, who even giggled a little in his sleep as he was gently lifted and placed into a third cage. Finally, the thief caught the beautiful Flora, the butterfly, in a huge, silky net while she was sleeping on his sunflower. He loaded all the giant bug animals into cages on his big truck. He quietly closed the truck door, jumped into the driver's seat, and drove away into the night, leaving the farm empty and silent. The next morning, the sun came up just like it always did. Farmer Giles woke up, stretched his arms, and said, "Good morning, my wonderful buggies." But there was no answer. No bouncing from Lily, no snoring from Charlie, no giggling from Benny, and no colorful wings swooping through the air from Flora. Farmer Giles looked around. The farm was empty. His heart started to beat a little faster. "Lily, Charlie?" He called out, his voice filled with worry. "Benny, Flora, where are you?" He searched everywhere. He looked behind the big red barn. He checked the sunflower patch. He even looked in his own kitchen. But they were gone. The farm felt cold and quiet without his friends. Giant tears welled up in Farmer Giles' eyes. His friends were missing. He knew he had to do something. He ran to his house and picked up the phone. "Police station, please," he said, his voice trembling. On the other end of the line, a kind voice answered. Farmer Giles explained everything his wonderful giant bug animals, the empty farm, everything. The voice on the phone said, "Don't worry, Farmer Giles. We'll send our best officers right away." Soon, a police car with flashing lights pulled up to the farm. Out stepped two friendly police officers, Officer Mia and Officer Tom. They had kind smiles and looked very determined. We're here to help, Farmer Giles, said Officer Mia. Can you tell us what happened? Farmer Giles showed them the empty beds and the strange tire tracks on the ground. Officer Tom looked closely at the tracks. H&M, he said, these are from a very big truck. The thief couldn't have gone far. So the search began. Officer Mia, Officer Tom, and a very worried Farmer Giles set off to find the missing bug animals. They followed the truck tracks across the green fields. They searched through a thick, dark forest, calling out the bugs' names. Lily, Charlie. They looked down every winding country road. Farmer Giles was so sad, but Officer Mia told him, we won't give up. We'll find your friends. After searching for a long time, Officer Tom, who had super sharp eyes, pointed to the distance. Look, he shouted, over there, on that hill. Is that a big truck? They all looked out yes. It was a thief's truck, parked near an old, forgotten warehouse. They could hear a faint sound. It was a rumbling, giggling sound. It was Benny the beetle. That's Benny, cried Farmer Giles. He must be in there. Quietly, the police officers crept up to the warehouse. They peeked through a dusty window, and there they were. Lily, Charlie, Benny, and Flora were all locked in their cages. The sneaky thief was admiring his captured collection, saying, my giant bugs, aren't you magnificent? All right, whispered Officer Tom. It's time to get them back. With a loud shout, the officers burst through the door. Police. Stop right there, they yelled. The thief was so surprised, he dropped his magnifying glass. He tried to run, but he tripped over his own feet and tumbled onto a pile of soft hay. Officer Mia and Officer Tom quickly and safely caught him. Farmer Giles rushed to the cages. Oh, my friends, I was so worried, he cried. He opened the cage doors one by one. Lily bounced out, bowing, 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 and gave Farmer Giles a big, bouncy hug. Charlie the caterpillar woke up from his long nap, stretched, and gave a huge yawn. Benny the beetle started giggling so hard that the whole warehouse shook. And Flora the butterfly flew out and circled around Farmer Giles' head, her rainbow wings sparkling in the light. The police officers made sure the thief would not be able to bother anyone again. And then they helped Farmer Giles lead all his giant bug friends back home. The journey back to the farm was a parade of happiness. Lily bounced along the road. Benny giggled the whole way. Charlie munched on some tasty leaves he found, and Flora danced in the sky above them. When they arrived back at the farm, it was time for a celebration. The sun was shining brighter than ever. Farmer Giles put on some happy music, and they all played together for the rest of the day. They played bouncy ball with Lily, they told jokes to make Benny giggle his thundery giggle, and they watched Flora paint the sky with her beautiful colors. Even sleepy Charlie stayed awake to join the fun. The farm was once again filled with bouncing, laughter, and joy. Farmer Giles hugged each of his giant bug friends. I'm so happy you're all home and safe, he said with a huge smile. And from that day on, they were all together, one big, happy family, living joyfully on their very special farm. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to follow for more wonderful stories.